They had millions in their accounts and the world at their feet. Global fame, endless luxury, until it all collapsed. What happens when the spotlight fades and the debts come knocking? When your name once filled arenas and now it headlines court documents. These aren't just cautionary tales. They're full-blown financial disasters. And the craziest part, most of them saw it coming. So what does it really take to lose everything in Hollywood? Stick around, because these stories aren't just wild, they're painfully real. Tenured Katie Price, the glamour queen's fall. Once a UK household name, Katie Price didn't just lose her money, she lost control. From a £45 million fortune to bankruptcy courtrooms, Katie's life became a masterclass in how fame can spiral out of control. Fast. Luxury cars, designer shopping sprees, endless plastic surgeries, multi-million-pound mansions. It was all part of her image. Until the tax bills came crashing in. She declared bankruptcy twice, with one case still tied to over £750,000 in unpaid taxes. Her infamous £2 million mucky mansion became the ultimate symbol of her downfall, splashed across every tabloid in the country. In March 2025, she was officially discharged from bankruptcy. But the damage? Her brand, her assets, her reputation, all still in ruins. 9. Shilo Sanders. From rising star to legal nightmare. The son of NFL legend, Deion Sanders. Shiloh was set to become a face of college football's NIL revolution. But just as his brand was rising, a ghost from his past came back with a vengeance. A brutal $11.89 million judgment from a 2016 assault case. The news hit like a freight train. By 2024, Shiloh filed for bankruptcy, listing over $11.3 million in liabilities. His social media presence tanked, and suddenly everyone was questioning if young athletes were prepared for the pressures of sudden wealth. The scandal isn't over. Bankruptcy officials are still combing through his finances, and his future? Uncertain. 8. Anstead. The dream machine that crashed. He looked like he was living the dream. TV fame, a high-profile romance with Renee Zellweger and his passion project, Radford Motors. But behind the scenes, the business was falling apart. In late 2024, Radford Motors filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, rocked by fraud accusations and lawsuits from former partners. What was supposed to be a revival of a classic automotive brand turned into a legal war zone. Anstead denies any wrongdoing, but the court documents, they tell a story of unpaid debts, broken promises, and deceptive business practices. This wasn't just the crash of a company, it was the wreckage of a legacy. 7. Matt Haycox, the high-flying entrepreneur who fell. Again. At one point, Matt Haycox was a symbol of bold entrepreneurship. Lap dancing clubs, luxury cars, private jets. But it wasn't built on solid ground. After his first bankruptcy in 2008, he clawed his way back, only to lose it all again in 2025. This time, it came crashing down with £5.6 million in fraud allegations tied to failed ventures. And this time, there might be no comeback. The court battles rage on, but Haycox's story stands as a brutal reminder. Chasing flash without a solid foundation leads straight to disaster. 6. Alex Jones. The empire of misinformation collapses. Alex Jones didn't just lose a fortune, he lost an empire. The founder of InfoWars thrived on chaos and controversy, until it caught up with him. After falsely claiming the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax, the lawsuits came fast. The damages, over $1.5 billion. By 2024, a judge ordered InfoWars liquidated. Everything from broadcast equipment to his personal belongings was sold off. From fringe media king to a courtroom regular, Alex Jones is now the face of a simple truth. When your business is built on lies, the truth will always catch up. 5. Michael Jackson, the king of pop's hidden struggles. He earned over $1 billion in his lifetime, but when he died in 2009, Michael Jackson was $500 million in debt. The numbers sound impossible until you look at the lifestyle, lavish spending, endless lawsuits, financial mismanagement. At one point, Jackson spent $30 million a year just to maintain his lifestyle. His legendary Neverland Ranch became an eerie monument to his excess, shut down, empty, and drowning in debt. Even today, his estate fights to clean up the mess. Michael didn't just lose money. He lost peace, stability, and the freedom his talent should have secured. 4. Johnny Depp, the slow burn collapse. Johnny Depp's empire didn't fall overnight. It unraveled in front of the world. At his peak, he was worth $650 million. Then came the lawsuits, the wild spending, private islands, $30,000 a month on wine, a staff of 40, and a public divorce that wrecked his image and nearly ended his career. By 2018, most of his fortune was gone, though his 2022 defamation trial brought a small victory. His Hollywood empire is now a shadow of its former self. These days, Depp leans into music and indie films, but the days of Captain Jack Sparrow commanding box offices, those ships have sailed. 3rd, MC Hammer. You really couldn't touch this until it was gone. In the early 90s, MC Hammer was unstoppable. A $70 million fortune, a $30 million mansion, over 200 employees, even a stable of racehorses. And in just 5 years, gone. By 1996, Hammer filed for bankruptcy, owing over $13 million. But unlike others, he didn't disappear. He pivoted, working in tech, collaborating with startups, even preaching in churches. His story remains one of the most iconic cautionary tales in pop culture. Because even when you think you're untouchable, fortune has a funny way of slipping through your fingers. 2. Lindsay Lohan, from red carpet royalty to rock bottom. She had Hollywood in the palm of her hand, starring roles, millions in earnings, and the power to set trends. But fame became her greatest enemy. DUIs, rehab stints, public meltdowns. Soon she was known more for scandal than stardom. At one point, Lindsay couldn't even pay her rent. The IRS came knocking. Hollywood turned cold. By 2012, she was broke. In recent years, she's clawed her way back. Netflix films, small projects, even a beach club venture in Greece. But the golden girl of early 2000s Hollywood? She lost more than money. She lost her crown. 1. Mike Tyson, the greatest fall in sports history. And at number 1, Iron Mike Tyson. At his peak, he was the most feared man in the ring, earning over $400 million. But he blew through it all. Mansions, luxury cars, Bengal tigers, even a $2 million bathtub. By 2003, Tyson filed for bankruptcy, revealing over $23 million in debt. But unlike many, Mike found a second act, fighting exhibitions, acting, and even launching a cannabis empire. Today, he's regaining his footing, but his story remains the most legendary financial collapse in sports history. If you made it this far, tell me in the comments, whose story shocked you the most? Hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and don't forget to tap the bell, because sometimes the truth, it's more shocking than fiction.